Okay, it's June 6th at 7 p.m. We're in the second floor conference room. We'll call to order the City Brainerd Personnel and Finance Committee meeting. We'll start with introduction.
Tiffany Stingline, Ward 3.
I'm Jim Sadamka with Wesleyan Area Insurance.
Jennifer Bergman, City Administrator.
Kelly Mashi with Wesleyan Area Insurance.
Connie Hillman, City Finance Director.
Kevin Stunig, Alderman at Large.
Tim Holmes with Brainerd Fire Department. Mike Bessel, Police Chief.
Chris Schubert, HR.
Sean Middle, City of Brainerd BPU Wellness Committee.
Teresa Burke, Brainerd Dispatch. Sarah Guyman, Brainerd Dispatch.
Gabe Johnson, Chair of the Committee. We have 30 minutes and we have 8 items unless anything else needs to be added. Not seeing anything. We'll start with item number 1, League of Minnesota Cities Insurance Trust Premium Renewal from March 22 through February 23.
Okay, well, yeah, thanks for the opportunity. With Wesleyan Randall, we celebrated our 100th year anniversary, and we've been working with you guys at least since 1985, so the last 37 years, and appreciate that opportunity with you and the league. Today, we're just going to do the high level on the insurance renewal, which renewed March 1st of this year, and go from there. The overall premium went from $361,000 and some change to $401,000, so about a $39,526 increase. In the past year, in 2021, the League of Minnesota gave a dividend back to Brainerd for over $70,500. Okay, the increase for the total city was all on the BPU side. So the BPU actually had an increase of $45,231, and this portion, which we're talking about tonight, I met with the BPU folks last week and covered their portion with it, but the city portion actually went down $5,708, and we're under budget. A few of the changes this year: property values overall were increased by over $12 million. Unscheduled equipment was increased by $111,000. And we removed 10 city buses, which are being covered by the Blue Sky Jefferson Lines project and from the contract. And then the city purchased an additional 5 vehicles, so we end up with 5 less vehicles. But that's kind of the high level breakdown of how everything shook out. So does anybody have any questions, or we can go in more detail, or anything?
Any questions? Any questions? Connie, do you think anything needs to be added?
No, and no, usually we talk about adding some more cybersecurity stuff, but this year the league took that out as a separate component of our general insurance policy. So we feel pretty good about that.
Yep, and you could bump it up, right, Kelly, to, oh, she's muted.
You muted, Kelly.
I remember to push that unmute button. Sorry about that. So this year, the League of Minnesota Cities did separate out their cyber coverage part. It was previously included in their property coverage part, and right now we have the City of Brainerd at $250,000, and that's separated out on your line item there. And if you go to page 9, it's separated out. We do have the capability to increase it to $500,000 if the council would like to consider that option.
For $2,184.
So what would increasing it do for us? You said we have $250,000 per incident?
Right, or is that total, or is it per incident, Kel?
It's per incident.
Okay.
So if we had somebody hacked us, would $250,000 cover us? Or, I mean, and what would it cost us to increase it, and what kind of coverage increase would we have?
So it would go to $500,000, and the cost would be $2,184.
In my opinion, I think that would be a good thing for the city council to consider, just knowing, we always hear IT say it's not a matter of if, it's when we get attacked. And so for that cost, I think it would be, I mean, we've been pretty good, we've been lucky, I'm not gonna lie, but I think that for that additional coverage for that cost, I think would be beneficial. And we would split that across BPU as well.
Mm-hmm.
Did BPU to have that discussion at all?
No.
Thoughts?
I agree with Connie.
Yeah, it seems
Motion.
fine. As long as the headline isn't hackers can now get $500,000.
Yes.
I mean,
Raise the
Go ahead.
I would make a motion to approve the insurance renewal for League of Minnesota Cities Insurance Trust from March 1st, 2022 to February 28th, 2023 with the bump of $2,100 some to increase our policy.
For cybersecurity.
For cyber.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, we'll vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion carries.
I would just like to add, I thank Weisner Engel, WE, every time,
Yep.
every year we come for renewal, they help us out so much and get it all put together for us and just do a fantastic job. So I really appreciate them being our local agent and dealing with the league. Anytime we file a claim, I reach out to Kelly and Jim and say, hey, you know, this is what's going on. Should we file a claim? And we get it started, and I thank them so much for everything that they do for us.
Thanks, Kelly.
We appreciate it. It's all Kelly though.
Well, we appreciate it too. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. All right, I'm gonna mute you again, Kelly, if that's okay?
Okay.
Okay, next item is to accept the resignation of firefighter Bickle. Chief.
Yep, so on the 2nd of May, Andrew Bickle submitted his letter of resignation. He'd actually been promoted or got a change of position at his primary job, and which makes him traveling out of town several days a week. So he just wasn't able to meet his commitments, so he just saw that it was best to resign at this time. He'd been on the department since 2013, so paramedic with North Ambulance, so he'll definitely be missed.
I move that we accept with regret the resignation of Andrew Bickle effective 5/2/22.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? No? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Thank you, Chief. Next up is to ratify the hiring of some more 2022 summer temporary employees. Chris?
Good evening. Attached is a listing of our 2022 summer temporary employees that have recently received a job offer and successfully completed a background check. Wrapping this up, we've only got a few more positions that we're looking for, mainly umpires and concession stand workers. So with that, just letting you know that we've decided not to hire a communications intern or a GIS IT intern this year. Communications intern, Jennifer just didn't have time, imagine that. And our GIS IT, there just weren't applicants there for us. So also to report that we have 5 interns that we have been approved through SourceOne. 3 of them are on the city side, 2 are on BPU side. So we are having 5 interns being reimbursed from SourceOne.
And Mr. Chair, we did interview 2 candidates for the communications intern, but I think it would have taken quite a bit of time to get them to where they would benefit from the internship and also be able to benefit the city.
Okay, looking for a motion.
Okay, I make a motion to ratify the hiring of the 2022 summer temporary employees as presented on the attached listing with the 6 names.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? I'll just add, I came here directly from Bain Park and the concession stand was open, so we had enough employees to have that one open tonight at least.
Good.
See no other discussion, we'll vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Next up is to ratify the promotion of James Kramvik to Community Development Director. Chris.
On April 4th, the City Council accepted Community Development Director David Chansky's resignation and created a Community Development Director work group to oversee the hiring process. We had 8 applications received, and we had 3 individuals that were invited to the interview. 2 individuals actually attended. Those interviews were held on May 24th. As a result of the interview and hiring process, the work group is recommending the promotion of Acting Community Development Director James Kramvik to the Community Development Director position effective June 7th, and that he be placed at step 2 of that wage grid. And then we're also asking that staff be authorized to backfill his current or his assistant planner position as well.
Mr. Chair, would you like that as 2 motions?
I'd like it as one if you can.
I would love to do it as one. I move that we ratify the promotion of James Kramvik to the Community Development Director position effective tomorrow, June 7th, that he be paid at step 2 of the Community Director Development Community Development Director wage grid, and that we direct staff to begin the hiring process to backfill the assistant position.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second, any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Next is a discussion on the prosecution agreements. Everybody.
Everybody. So there was a several page memo included, kind of giving the background of how the city of Brainerd has been in a prosecution agreement. And then that since 1991, at least 1991, Brainerd has had agreements with Baxter and Nisswa to share in the cost of the agreement. Prior to June of 2019, we had Matt Molly. Matt Molly was appointed as judge and had to end his agreement with the city. At that time, council's motion was to go with Severson Porter. And their agreement ends December 31st. And there was information on the amount of the contracts for previous years. In the contract, it says that if we want to renew, the council prior to July 1st needs to provide notice to Severson Porter with a written notice to renew the contract or direct staff to go out for RFPs. I guess that is what is the first topic of discussion for tonight. Of course, then the agreements with Brainerd and Baxter also come into play, and so staff would just like some guidance and direction on what they would like to see be done with those agreements as well.
And we did get notification from Severson Porter that they would like to continue the relationship, so then the discussion is, does the council want to do that or go up for request for proposals?
Have we been happy with them?
Yes.
Extremely happy, yes. We work with them, and they've really bent over backwards at helping us, and we have such a great work relationship on a daily basis. Them dealing with us on anything from IT to, e-citations to any type of issue, and along with Baxter as well, and work with Chief Exted, kind of the same type of really great working relationship. Also, they're still involved with the LARJP and others of their diversion programs to help speed up the process, and they're really boots on the ground and really, great partners. So I have no issues with them. I know Chief Exted kind of wanted to say the same type of thing. It's been a great working relationship. So on our side of it, it's been very good.
Okay, I would make the it's not a vote, but I would say we move forward with keeping them.
So I'll authorize staff to provide a written notice to Severson Porter to renew the current contract prior to July 1st.
Correct.
That's a motion.
And then I'll second the motion.
A motion and a second. Any discussion? I think at this point, this is the only action we need.
Yeah.
As far as Baxter and Nisswa, we'll wait and see what our negotiations with Severson Porter look like and what their fee schedule is going to look like for the next 3 years and all that. So I would like to see us just wait on that as a secondary issue, but for now, let Severson Porter know we do want to continue working with them.
And listening to Mike Baxter's on board too, so
Yeah,
that's a good thing. So.
that's good. Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion carries.
Awesome.
And we have an update on the city engineer, public works director hiring process.
Actually, I think we missed an item in there first. Yes, it was missing a bookmark. It's consider request for the employee wellness committee for the employee appreciation event.
Is there a motion to approve that?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any-
It's on the agenda, we just missed the bookmark.
I used the bookmarks. so
Yep, sorry.
Yeah.
I think it's a great idea.
They want to set aside some time.
Yeah, and that's great. That committee has done great things for our employees and our comp ratings
Yeah.
work on stuff. So any discussion on authorizing?
We could have had him speak just
Oh,
because.
are you here for the wellness?
Yes,
Well, come on.
Please, sit in the select seat and tell us a story.
I wonder if it's gonna be my turn, so. Last year, if you remember, we had each different department or kind of broke up and did their own thing. So this year, we'd like to come together all as one group, city and BPU, and have one big barbecue for an hour and a half.
Heck yeah, love the
At one park.
Or so.
No, don't bring any beers, no beer in the park.
And
Well,
then,
No beer at the park.
I think we already did this.
and then to close the city offices for that hour and a half. And again, we've done this in the evening before, but it hasn't been very well attended. And so I think the wellness committee was hoping that if we did it during the day, we would get a greater participation.
Free hour and a half off of work and some barbecue. Who's smoking the meat?
If you came down to the street department, it'll look a lot like it did last year.
Well, let's do that then, I heard good
It's
things.
not the least.
Great.
So we'll be treating it just like we are after hours with calls and stuff like that.
Not a problem. Good idea.
All right, thanks, Sean, this is great, I love to see the city all
Great.
working together as one city.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sean.
Couldn't let you not speak.
All in favor of approving it, say aye. Aye, opposed, same sign, that motion carries. Now we'll get an update on, so where is that on the agenda? Is that in between these
It's
two?
number 6, yes.
Try to keep up with it.
I use the bookmarks, I need a bookmark.
I'm with you. It's right
could
between,
use-
after the discussion of the prosecution.
That's what it is, it's right after prosecution, I'll try to remember that.
I'll poke you.
Yeah,
I'll put Canada's time.
Chris?
Okay, so, recently we also received a resignation from Paul Sandy, our city engineer, public works director. We created a work group for that position as well. Our work group met on Wednesday, June 1st to review the applications. We had received 4. Before we met, that one person had already withdrawn. The committee has decided to interview all 3 of the remaining individuals. And the interviews will be held on June 22nd. One thing our work group is recommending is that the city council authorize a $200 lodging reimbursement for the night before, so that people can come and be ready to go right away that next morning. And so that is our recommended action, is to authorize a lodging reimbursement to the city engineer, public works director applicants for up to $200 the night before the interviews that will be held on June 22nd.
I so move.
Second.
We have a motion, a second, any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, that motion carries.
So can I ask where they're from?
Sure.
That was part of discussion.
We have the 3 J's. We have Jesse Dean, he is currently the assistant city engineer from the city of Marshall. We have Jenna Favish, she is currently the assistant design engineer for Dakota County. And we have Joshua Frederickson, he is the deputy director, county engineer for Kittitas. I think that's how you say it, county in Washington. So the state
Of Washington?
Yes.
Wow.
So those are our 3 individuals, and all 3 have said they're planning on coming.
And all 3 would need a place to stay the night before, so.
Yes.
And none of them are going to find a hotel room for $200 on July 24th.
Rubbing up.
But that's not our problem. Thank you, Chris.
For
Would you
$200
vote? Yeah, we already
I can
voted, then we went back to discussion.
For $200, they can stay with me.
That's right.
I'll give them a whole floor.
And itemized receipt.
Just don't sleep on my pool table.
Okay, we've got 12 minutes to cover the final item on the agenda here, and that's an update on the request for funds to be returned to us from Lakes Area Media Collaborative. As you're
No.
aware, as you're well aware, Kevin, they are holding on, or not holding on, they have over $600,000 of money the city paid them, and we asked for them, hey, would you give it back to us? And they said,
We have not heard any.
oh, we haven't heard
Can we do a
anything.
search warrant? Can you go get that?
Done.
With anything else, we got a few minutes to kill.
Should we consider sending them a second letter?
Or 3rd or 4th or 5th? Just make 5 out and send it to them. Date them every month. So what is it? They won't talk to us? They won't have any discussion, or what's the deal?
We have had no response.
We sent the letter in.
So who's the
August.
contact?
September?
I think they sent it to Henschke at his house in Ironton.
We also sent it to the officers, so it went to Kendall's, Nancy Cross, and
Well, I mean, this has been going on for months and months and months. I would think there'd be
Coming up
somebody we
on a
could
year.
sit down and say, hey, what's the deal? I mean, wouldn't you think so?
I would think so, and
I mean,
since
we're
they don't
wasting
have
our-
any use of the money, they might as well just give it back to us so we can use it for the
Do we know they even have it?
program. I asked them if they did, and they said yes, so they wouldn't lie.
Okay.
We asked to see bank statements, and they said no.
Well, but I mean, this is gonna go on for months. Why can't, isn't there somebody we can choke and sit down with and see what's going on?
happy to do that. I had. Happy to do that. Minus the joke part, please, no headline.
Studick says, choke the guy.
Jennifer says yes.
I have spoken with Chris Ford and Ken Knowles. I did not speak with Nancy Cross, but it has been several months. I heard the same thing, they do have the money. Dave Henschke, I know, was here a year and a half ago and gave a presentation to the council.
Just before we sent the letter.
Yeah.
But I mean, we've been doing this routine for months. It's time to do something, in my opinion.
Would you like us to send a second letter?
I don't know if the letter's gonna be.
We have time to
different.
motion to send a second letter if you want. That's about all we can do is ask for the money back. We can't claw it back.
Can we spice it up a little bit?
I can work with Joe Langle and have it
Okay, that's
spiced
what I
up.
would say. I would make that motion that you work with Joe Langle to spice up the letter to whatever this place is.
Caliente.
I'll second that motion.
We have a motion and a second to spice it up a bit and send a second one. Any
You
discussion?
want me to sign that for you? I will.
Actually,
Hearing none, we'll vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion carries. We'll bring that recommendation up, and I think President Bevins will be satisfied that we have action on this. With that, we're adjourned.